What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the JuiceBox presented by LOCKCITY. It's Whitey here today. Happy Saturday. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Today we have episode 174 of the JuiceBox, which is going to be a review, of course, of today's Blast Bounty multi-picks, as well as some picks for the 4 matches tomorrow, Sunday, August 10th, 2025, where we look to wrap up the round of 16 in the Blast Bounty Multi-Closed Qualifier, with again some pretty exciting bounties on the board, and that's going to finish naming the 8 teams that will head to Malta for the playoffs next week. So without further ado, we'll kind of get into it. In terms of what's going on today, a lot of it's still in progress. We ended up taking Furia as our max play of the day in the Discord, as well as a 3-unit play, Furia -1.5 map spread. So that's going to take place after Spirit and G2 wrap up. Spirit and G2 currently 1-1. We ended up hitting on this over 19.5 total rounds, as well as this over 20.5 total rounds. I don't know where the green went on this. It seemed to go away, but that match finished a while ago. So then we're just waiting on Furia map 2 and Furia as a match winner down below here. Unfortunately, on the lotto play, Spirit did lose map 2 to G2. They lost Ancient by a scoreline of 13-8. So unfortunately, that one busted. But onward and upward, we have some cash to look forward to this afternoon. And then without further ado, from there, we will kind of just get into tomorrow's matches. So again, G2 Spirit still going on today, and then Liquid and Furia still needs to take place. But we are going to zoom forward all the way to Sunday here. So for bounties for tomorrow, these Sunday matchups, we have 3 very big ones on the board, 3 essentially $60,000 bounties with MongolZ, MOUZ, and Vitality, and then Aurora with a $30,000 bounty that Heroic's fighting for. But a lot of big ones on the board. I don't know that we'll see some upsets here, but we'll get into it. First one up is going to be Pain and MongolZ, 6 a.m. Eastern time. This one I am leaning MongolZ. I do like Mongol. I know they looked a little bit sloppy earlier on. We'll scroll down to some match history here. They did drop a map to Ents. These losses here to Navi and Vitality, obviously some of the top teams in the world, and that loss on stage there, they did kind of crumble on stage. But this is completely different. This is an online environment in a round of 16 looking to qualify for a playoff. Pain, they've looked okay. They did beat Ninjas in Pajamas 2-1. I know some people are kind of high on Nip right now. They lost to Astralis. They needed to squeak by big. They lost to Liquid. They lost to 3D Max. They lost to Lin Vision. So there's a lot to be scared of, in my opinion, on the Pain Gaming side of things. When we look at what these teams have done recently, this one goes all the way back to February, so not completely relevant, but MongolZ did win that. Pain won at the end of, or middle of last year, which again, not relevant. And then this past June at the Major, MongolZ won 13-5 and 13-5 when it mattered. This doesn't matter as much, but obviously for a playoff qualification, MongolZ is expected to make these playoffs. They probably have travel plans to go to Malta. They want to win this game, obviously. This matters to them. MongolZ, as such, are going to win this game. They're a top 5 team in the world. I don't think they're going to crumble here to Pain Gaming, regardless of how good Pain looks. I think MongolZ on the money line, super safe parlay piece. I'd be reluctant to do even like an over 19.5, over 20.5, because we saw 6 maps that all went over 20.5. But the most recent timeout at the Major, again, both of these only saw 18 total rounds. So I am reluctant to take any sort of an over-under here. I just think I'm going to anchor MongolZ money line as a pretty safe parlay piece for probably a play or two at the end of the video here. Next one up is going to be Bait and MOUZ, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. I like Bait as a team. I like what I've seen out of Bait recently. I think this public consensus is wonky. MOUZ should win this pretty easily. So Bait, number 24 ranked team in the world. Decent roster that some of y'all may be familiar with. On the MOUZ side of things, obviously one of the top teams in the world. They seem to get scared in a lot of grand finals, but in these early stages in tournaments, obviously they handle business. So again, lost to Spirit. They have a lot of grand final losses to Vitality. A lot of those have even gone 0-3. But then in like group stages of tournaments, early on in tournaments, even in playoffs of tournaments, they handle a lot of these teams. Yes, they are also coming off of a win over Vitality. Vitality's first BO3 loss in, I believe, 37 BO3s. So obviously top team of the world, top form right now in 2025, the team that everyone is after. MOUZ was able to take them down. They did follow that up with a very disappointing, on their side, I was very happy about it, but a very disappointing loss to Spirit, 0-3 in a grand final BO5 at IEM Cologne. They then also lost a map here to OG, but ultimately ended up beating them. Bait had to beat FUT, but they lose to teams like FlyQuest, Astralis, Linvision, Furia. So yeah, they're good for tier 2, but against a team like MOUZ, they're not going to get past MOUZ. MOUZ should win this 2-0. MOUZ probably wins this 2-0. There's not a lot that I really like about the money line. I do think it's justified, but very, very low. I like MOUZ to win their map pick most definitely, so MOUZ is like a map 2 money line. I think they would win basically whatever they pick. Train seems to be something that they like as of recently. I think they would probably wipe the floor on Dust 2. I think Bait's probably going to go with either Ancient here or something they just play a lot of, maybe like an Inferno, but MOUZ is pretty strong on Inferno. But give me MOUZ. MOUZ on their map pick, definitely. MOUZ on the money line. This should be MOUZ 2-0 if you want to get spicy and play a MOUZ 2-0. But I think maybe just MOUZ to win their map pick. And then MOUZ on the money line if you want to throw it in to spice up a parlay. But MOUZ to win map 2, I think, is probably the best play in this one. Next one up is going to be Heroic and Aurora, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I agree with the public here. I do think Aurora, I know this is probably a lot of Turkish fan base coming in here and infiltrating as well, as they do on the Aurora matches, and shout out to them, very diehard fans of their fan base, so definitely respect that. On the Aurora side of things, they should win this. They have Xanterra's back. They were able to get through FlyQuest pretty easily. The last time that they saw Heroic, they did lose Train 13-3 when Train was relatively new in the map pool, but they followed that up with Dust 2 and Mirage. Pretty convincing wins. They had lost to Heroic earlier at IEM Dallas, but obviously they revenged that win. And then on the IEM Katowice side of things, super early this year, we did see Aurora win both of those maps as well. So I do like Aurora here. I think Aurora on the money line is probably safe. Heroic obviously playing with a stand-in as well. They have Scrob from the Heroic Academy roster. He is playing really good. No discredit to Scrob whatsoever. But at the end of the day, there are some adaptations that need to take place. I am leaning Aurora definitely on the money line. I think Aurora wins their map pick. I would imagine they go with Dust 2. It's probably going to be their best bet. Heroic's going to ban Inferno. Aurora's going to ban either Overpass or Ancient. And I would imagine they're going to pick Dust 2, in which case they're going to win their map pick. So like an Aurora map 2 money line. Aurora for the match on the money line I think is pretty decent value. It's not great, but it's okay. I think they definitely win this and qualify for Malta. Next one up and last one of the day, Poor Legacy, is going to be Legacy and Vitality. Last time that these teams met, obviously Legacy, as everybody probably knows, ended up breaking Vitality's, I don't know what it was at that point in time, their map win streak, but they ended up beating them 13-3 at the Blast Major in the BO1 stages. Obviously Vitality from there forward dominated the tournament, but Legacy was a very surprising loss early on. Legacy is a good team. They do well on the Brazilian side of things in that realm of CS. But against Vitality, it's just, especially when Vitality is trying to revenge a loss here, it's going to be a very tall task for them. I would imagine it's going to be pretty similar to what we saw here when Vitality played Energy. Oh, why did I click on the team? I meant to click on the map results. It's going to be pretty similar to this, in my opinion, a 13-5, 13-4. Vitality's really going to want to prove a point here. This is going to be 2-0 Vitality. The odds for Vitality are horrendous, but Vitality to win their map pick by like 3, 4, 5 rounds. And then Vitality -1.5 map spread as well, I think is super safe. So let's hop over and make some parlays. Let's get to the exciting part here. Enough talking about matches. I'm just kidding. That's probably my favorite part, but we'll get into probably what everyone else's favorite part is, which is making some parlays here. So the first thing up, I do think MongolZ is going to be a pretty clean win. I think Aurora is going to be a pretty clean win. That only gets us to 1.63 times our money, but I'm going to throw 3 units on that, give us about roughly 2 units in profit. I do feel really good about those as like pretty much shoo-ins. So we'll do that as kind of a safe anchor play just to kick the day off. So I'll go 3 units on MongolZ and Aurora. together on the money line there. Next one up that I'm going to do is going to be Vitality to win their map pick. So map 2, let's go 3.5 just to be safe. We'll do MOUZ to win their map pick. 3.5 to be safe. That's going to get us to even, which is perfect. So let's do that. 2 units. And then I kind of want to do a money line thing all day, but let's just maybe play it safe here. I do want to do a couple 2-0s too. What's MOUZ on the 2-0? 150. That's not bad, but I could definitely see bait winning a map. Vitality, this is much better. Okay, 1.4 is crazy. I like that. Aurora on the money line, I think is safe. I don't think they lose to Heroic. Let's do Aurora map 2. Because I know they'll win Dust 2. It's not going to go to overtime, so we'll do the 3-way. 2 times. Beautiful. Let's throw another 2 units there, and that'll kick us off. So let's move on over to review of those. Obviously, Furia here is for today, so ignore that when we're looking at these for tomorrow. So these are going to be the 3 that we're going with here. We're going to go with, firstly, Vitality, -1.5 map spread, so they got to win 2-0 against Legacy. Should definitely be the case in a revenge match. And then Aurora to win their map pick. It's probably going to be Dust 2. That's going to double up our money, so 2 units gives us just over 4. Next one up is going to be Vitality on their map pick to win by at least 4 rounds, and then MOUZ on their map pick to win by at least 4 rounds. That's going to be a double up as well, so 2 units gives us roughly just over 4. And then lastly, what we're going to do for 3 units, we're going to do, it's not quite a double up, but MongolZ and Aurora, 1.63 times our money. 3 units is going to pay us roughly 5 units. So I feel really good about those 3 to start the day. Of course, from there, we are going to have more plays in our Discord. For those of you that don't have an esports book yet, I definitely recommend checking out Thunderpick, which we've been using for this video, but as well as every single day for our CS picks. This is going to be thunderpick.io. They are one of the top books in the world for esports betting. Most of you have probably heard of them. There's the Thunderpick World Championship for CS2. They're a really big name. They were a Heroic jersey sponsor. Not sure if they still are. I should probably know that. But they're a really big name in esports. You can deposit on Thunderpick using crypto, credit card, Apple Pay, Visa Debit. And Thunderpick has lines for all of your favorite esports, including but not limited to CS2, League, Dota, Valorant, Overwatch, COD, Fortnite, Rocket League, and so much more. If you visit tinyurl.com/LCThunder, you're going to get a 100% deposit match on your first deposit all the way up to $600. So any amount that you deposit up to $600, Thunderpick is going to immediately match for you to be able to use for your esports picks. Obviously, we've been crushing CS2 for those of you that follow along with the videos, but with that deposit bonus, you can always try your luck on any of your other favorites with that free money to play with. That's going to be tinyurl.com/LCThunder. Again, you're going to get a 100% deposit bonus at Thunderpick up to $600. I really like what I've been getting out of Thunderpick. I've been probably using it for, I think it's the better part of 3 years now. I was going to say 2.5 years, but I think the better part of 3 years now. Thoroughly endorse it if it wasn't a product. I know I've said this on another video, but if it's not something that I didn't use every day and that I didn't show y'all in the video and didn't show the UI of every day, that it wouldn't be something that I would be talking about from like a partnership perspective. I only believe in partnering with things that I actually use as a consumer and I see value in as a consumer. So good book to use if you don't have one. If you already have one, definitely just keep using the one that you are using. But if you need one, Thunderpick is definitely a really, really good option, and make sure you take advantage of that deposit bonus. Tons of money to be made here. So look forward to doing exactly that with y'all tomorrow. I think we have 3 winners picked out again here today. Today looks like it's going to end up being a good day here. So we'll keep it rolling with some CS here. After tomorrow, I think we have a 3-ish day break before the playoffs start live in Malta. So I'll probably drop that video. I'll be out on the boat tomorrow, but probably the day after, so Monday, I'll look to drop that video going into the playoffs for all of the quarterfinal matchups there, and we'll dive into that. Thank y'all for listening. Subscribe, give it a like if you like what you've been hearing. Let me know in the comments what you are running for tomorrow, how your matchups are going today. Love talking CS with y'all in the comments there, so hopefully see you there and see you in the Discord if you haven't checked that out. Obviously, it's at the bottom of the screen here. We're talking CS all day, every day in there, and tons of other plays to be found. Mostly on my Whitey channel. We drop a daily CS2 cheat sheet as well, so tons of content in there. Check it out if you haven't, completely free at the bottom of the screen. I will see y'all tomorrow. Take care. Peace.